So this study came out from Rice University, and they are trying to blatantly say Caitlin Clark fans are racist towards Angel Reese. Here we are, once again, Angel Reese is the victim. Caitlin Clark fan base, the Indiana Fever fan base, the Iowa fan base, wherever you're located, if you're a fan in Texas, fan in Alaska, a fan in Florida, by God, you are a racist today because they don't like how you word things.
People immediately took to social media and Twitter and started posting, look at what Angel Reese has accomplished. She has a national championship at LSU. She was the rebounding queen of the WNBA. Now she has a championship in the unrivaled, and she's Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, what an accomplishment.
It all happened in a flash. Caitlin Clark lit up the court, dropped records, and had the crowd on their feet. Headlines hailed her as the golden girl of college hoops. But just 2 minutes later, the internet caught fire. Angel Reese fans weren't cheering. They were furious.
They're saying that they got 364,000 viewers, couldn't break 400,000 viewers of their championship game.
Tweets turned into tirades, and what looked like celebration quickly spiraled into chaos. This wasn't admiration, it was ammunition. And now the backlash is louder than the applause. Something deeper is going on here, and it's way bigger than just basketball.
Angel Reese is a champion in the unrivaled that virtually no one watched.
Caitlin Clark's rise has been nothing short of legendary. With each game, she's been rewriting history, draining logo threes like it's nothing, dishing out assists with precision, and leading Iowa with the kind of fire you usually see in pros.
You cannot criticize missed layups, cannot criticize bad shooting form, you cannot criticize stat padding. If you criticize, you're a racist because these people are trying to keep racism afloat and alive because it's all they got.
But after her most recent performance, something unexpected happened. Not from her teammates, not from her opponents, but from the crowd watching online. What should have been a victory lap for one of the NCAA's brightest stars turned into a battlefield of opinions, and the target wasn't just Caitlin, it was the story being told around her.
How important this championship was to Angel Reese. Angel Reese didn't even attend the game. She was not in the building last night.
See, Clark's dominance has been building for years, but lately it's reached a fever pitch. The media can't get enough. Highlight reels, praise from NBA legends, talk shows dissecting her every move. She's being called the face of women's college basketball. And while her talent is undeniable, many are now asking, why is she being celebrated for the same things others were dragged for?
Angel Reese beating her ship. What y'all gonna say now? Now that I have this unrivaled championship that I didn't even think to attend. She went to LeBron James's youngest son's high school state championship game. If this championship mattered, she would show up. She could afford it.
I had no idea that Angel Reese didn't even bother to show up, did not show up to support her teammates. It was that unimportant, but yet took a victory lap that you won a championship? You got to be joking.
Just last year, when Reese pointed to her ring finger and hit the "you can't see me" taunt, the world erupted. Critics labeled her classless, unsportsmanlike, even ghetto. The backlash was swift, harsh, and deeply personal.
She thought so much of this championship that she was like, I don't want to diminish the greatness of this championship by attending the game and rooting on my teammates. So I'll FaceTime in.
Fast forward to today, Caitlin Clark dishes out the same energy, trash talk, swagger, unapologetic confidence, and suddenly it's fiery, competitive, electric. Same actions, very different reactions.
I guarantee you, those women, the intelligent ones, the one that have a brain, the one that are actually going to sit down and do this, are saying to Angel Reese, shut up, take off your clothes, show your ass, talk about how Hollywood stars want to date you, and move it along. Let us handle this. And you just keep being stupid and work on your leg.
Angel Reese fans watched the latest Clark performance and weren't impressed by the stats. They were stunned by the applause. The same media that scrutinized Reese with a microscope was now handing Clark a crown. To them, it wasn't just hypocrisy, it was a reflection of a much deeper issue. And they weren't going to stay silent.
Now you got universities trying to defend Angel Reese and make her out as the victim.
In just minutes, social media platforms lit up. Viral posts compared Clark's celebration moments with Reese's side by side. Hashtags surged. People weren't just questioning coverage, they were calling it out. Suddenly, this wasn't about who scored the most points. It was about who gets to be called a competitor and who gets called a problem.
No one wanted a 3-on-3 full-court women's basketball league, and no one paid attention to this. Let's put together a social media campaign, and let's pretend like Angel Reese just accomplished something important.
This clash didn't begin on the court. It started in the conversation about race, perception, and who gets to own their spotlight without paying a price. And now that Caitlin Clark is at the center of it, the tension that's been simmering for months is boiling over. The moment Caitlin Clark's highlight reels began dominating social feeds, Angel Reese's fan base launched into full defense mode. And it wasn't just about loyalty. To them, this wasn't a rivalry between two players. It was a fight against a double standard that's been lurking in plain sight for far too long.
All of that was more important than being at the location, being with her teammates.
Why is it just women's basketball where we see athletes acting like this? Oh, man, these athletes, they make themselves look worse and worse and worse all the time.
Fans didn't just criticize Clark, they aimed their fury at the entire system. Tweets poured in like wildfire, packed with screenshots, receipts, and razor-sharp commentary. When Angel does it, she's a thug. When Caitlin does it, she's a queen. One post read, racking up thousands of likes within minutes.
Because we're going to build up this narrative that Angel Reese is one of the great athletes of our lifetime. She's right there with Steph Curry, and she's right there with LeBron James. She's right there with Kevin Durant. She's got a championship at LSU, and now she has a championship in the unrivaled league.
Another viral clip stitched together Reese's infamous hand gestures with Clark's identical moves, setting the internet ablaze with side-by-side fury. The message was clear. People were done pretending like this was fair. And then came the deep cuts, the long memory of fans who had been watching how women like Angel Reese, Flau J. Johnson, and other black athletes were treated when they dared to show confidence. These weren't just players with swagger. They were often painted as villains, troublemakers, or attention seekers. But when Caitlin Clark flexed the same energy, gritty, loud, unapologetic, she became the darling of the NCAA. The double standard was no longer subtle, it was glaring.
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game. She won Rookie of the Month 4 times. Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times, single season rookie record for assists, single season rookie record for 3-pointers, single game record for assists, 19. Franchise record for most double-doubles, 3-pointers, career 10 or more assists in a game. Franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 3-pointers. She did it in 34 games. Most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game for which she received the most fan votes ever, 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season regardless of years in the league. People will say, pay more attention to the other folks. Like, she couldn't do it herself. You know, LeBron has teammates, Jordan had teammates. I understand.
Even former players and sports analysts began chiming in. Some praised Clark's performance, but warned the media to tread carefully. You can't keep applauding one and vilifying the other, one analyst said during a live panel. We're teaching these young athletes that your personality is only acceptable when it fits a certain mold. It was no longer just a fan reaction. It had become a cultural reckoning. And let's not forget Angel Reese herself.
When her team achieved this remarkable accomplishment, Angel Reese was so thrilled, she FaceTimed in press conference and celebration. That's how big this unrivaled championship was.
While she didn't name names, her social media presence spoke volumes. Subtle reposts, cryptic captions, and in one telling move, she liked a tweet that read, "It's funny how quiet they get when the flavor changes." That one move sent fans into a frenzy, interpreting it as a silent but deadly mic drop. Supporters of Reese didn't just defend her, they amplified her. They reminded everyone that she's not just a top-tier athlete. She's a national champion, a leader, and a symbol of a new era of women's basketball.
Everybody rush to social media and pretend like you actually watched Unrivaled, actually cared about Unrivaled. Let's go rush to social media and pretend that you care more about the Unrivaled League than Angel Reese does.
One that doesn't apologize for attitude or emotion. They demanded she be given the same energy, the same love, the same spotlight. But it wasn't just about justice for Reese. It was about respect for every athlete who came before her and was silenced, shamed, or sidelined for being too much. The fans were no longer asking for equal treatment, they were demanding it. And in doing so, they turned what was supposed to be Caitlin Clark's shining moment into something else entirely. A reckoning, a reminder, a roar from the crowd that said, "We see what's happening, and we're not letting it slide this time."
And this championship game was so unimportant. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'll watch from home. I'll watch this stream from home, and I'll FaceTime in if we win.
This league has got to figure out a way to honor Angel Reese in all this. That's right.
What started as a battle over two basketball stars has now become something far bigger, something that cuts into the very fabric of how women's sports are seen, sold, and celebrated. At the heart of this uproar lies a bitter truth. It's not just about who plays the best, it's about who's allowed to shine while doing it.
And yeah, if somebody's dressed tacky and I call it out, I mean, it's got nothing to do with race. You're just tacky. So you can try to label people as racist.
For years, women's basketball has been clawing for the respect and recognition it deserves. And now with players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese electrifying the game, that spotlight is finally getting brighter. But as the light grows, so do the shadows. The old narratives, the biases, the unspoken rules about who gets to be praised and who gets punished. And fans are calling it out in real time. Let's be real. Caitlin Clark didn't create this divide. She's a generational talent, no doubt. Her court vision, range, and leadership have inspired millions. But it's the reaction to her, how the media, brands, and institutions treat her rise, that's causing tension. Because for every headline celebrating Clark as fiery, there are memories of Black players being called angry. For every viral clip of her hyping up a crowd, there's an echo of a young Black athlete being told to stay humble.
Newly published study from Rice University and the University of Illinois at Chicago takes a data-driven look at one of the most polarizing sports controversies in recent memory, the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark debate from the 2023 NC2A Championship. During the title game between LSU and the University of Iowa, Caitlin Clark, the Iowa star guard, made a now famous "you can't see me" hand gesture, a taunt originally popularized by wrestler John Cena. Without much controversy, however, when LSU's Angel Reese made the same gesture towards Clark in the closing moments of the game, the reaction was starkly different. Reese was immediately labeled as classless and unsportsmanlike by some media personalities and fans, sparking a nationwide discussion about double standards in sports, race, and gender. Now a new study quantifies what many already suspected. Public and media reactions to Reese and Clark were not just different, but radicalized. Before, during, and after the game, to unpack the racial dynamics at play, the study found that Clark was largely celebrated, Reese was disproportionately criticized, often with racial undertones.
These moments don't just feel unfair, they feel calculated. And this is where the double standard shows its teeth. When Caitlin trash talks, it's passion. When Angel does it, it's disrespect. When Caitlin shows emotion, it's competitiveness. When a Black player does the same, it's called drama. That's not just a media bias, it's a cultural script that's been playing on repeat for decades. And now people are finally tearing it apart.
Y'all be throwing Angel Reese in there for clout purposes. If you actually watch her play, she's horrible, brah. Y'all doing too much with this black versus white BS.
The deeper issue isn't about one game or one player. It's about the rules of expression. Who gets to be loud? Who gets to be proud? Who gets to show fire without being burned by it? This controversy has exposed that women's sports are still fighting two battles, one for equality with men and another within themselves, where race, image, and attitude determine who's embraced and who's erased.
We have to sit through the fake importance of double-doubles all over again? Question mark? Oh, nobody gets hollow double-doubles like your girl, Angel Reese.
Even sponsorships and endorsements come into play. Caitlin Clark is becoming the face of major campaigns. Her jersey sales are through the roof, and her name is on every broadcast. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, despite being a national champion and social media powerhouse, has had to work twice as hard to prove she's more than a controversial figure. The disparity is loud, and the message it sends to young athletes is even louder. But this moment is more than a problem. It's also an opportunity.
We've got American Dad right here with a .32. That is 320,000 viewers. Spring Breaking Championship right there, .70. Unrivaled Championship, Vinyl versus Rose, TNT, a .26. That's 260,000 viewers.
It's a wake-up call for the sports world to level the playing field, not just in the stats, but in the stories we tell. To recognize that greatness doesn't come in one shade, one tone, or one attitude. To let every player, no matter their background, own their narrative without being boxed in by outdated expectations. The drama between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese may have sparked this fire, but what's burning now is a deeper demand for fairness, for consistency, and for the right to compete without compromise.
Most influential female athletes right now. Coco Gauff, 10. Juju Watkins, number 9. Cameron Brent, 8. Paige Beckers, number 7. Sabrina Ionescu, number 6. Asia Wilson. So Asia's not going to be happy either. Jakari Richardson was number 4. Simone Biles, number 3, right here. I can't quite get past the fact that Simone Biles is behind Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark, she ran away with number 1. I don't think that should surprise us. She came away with number 1. Caitlin Clark is redefining the entire landscape of women's sports. Her dominance on the court has shattered outdated narratives about women's sports, proving that women's basketball can be just as marketable and widely watched as men's. But the Caitlin Clark effect goes far beyond her performance. It's reshaping the entire sports landscape. Her presence alone boosts the WNBA attendance by 105% compared to games without her, while road games featuring her Indiana Fever see an 87% increase in opponent home attendance. Her rookie debut sparked a staggering 200% jump in WNBA viewership, while Fever home games drew a league-high 186,000 fans last season, a 265% increase from 2023.
Women's basketball is evolving, and if the system doesn't evolve with it, it risks being left behind. The noise isn't dying down. It's only getting louder. What began as a clash between two powerhouse athletes has ripped open a much deeper conversation, one that's forcing fans, media, and the entire sports world to take a hard look in the mirror.
That association, they gave us a gym that I paid for. Not entirely, but they took money out of my check and I paid for it.
You better get the fucking full usage of that.
Man, I got hot tub, cold tub, weight room, full court basketball room. I walk in today, I'm on one side working out, Caitlin Clark on the other side.
Really?
I look at myself, there you go, 2 fucking legends, Patty.
Did you say what's up?
You know I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout people, got to think, anytime I hit the court, I got to hit that bike. I'm older now, so I got to get on that bike and stroll for a couple 5, 6, 7 minutes. So while I'm strolling through the park, I'm looking at her shoot it. And she's one of those shooters where if you know as a gym rat, you guys know, like, damn, bro, why you throw that pass bad? Give me the ball in my chest. I'm like, oh, she's a gangster also.
She's lighting people up.
Throw me the ball the way I want it.
What drill was it? What drill was she running?
I don't know. She was doing a 2 in a row corner wing. And if you miss, you have to go back to the next spot. And if you missed again, you have to go back to the starting spot. She had a nice drill. I'm literally still in it.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right. So she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Caitlin Clark may be at the center of the spotlight right now, but Angel Reese and her supporters have made one thing crystal clear. The days of quiet acceptance are over. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about fairness. It's about voice. It's about who gets to be the hero and who gets cast as the villain. And if anyone thought this fire would burn out quickly, they weren't paying attention. Because the game may end at the buzzer, but this conversation, it's just getting started.